Welcome to Rainier Avenue Radio World. This is our special coverage of the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on South Seattle and surrounding communities. We are talking to people from South Seattle, whether they are residents. Some of our residents have been on the program who have tested COVID-19 positive. We've talked to community leaders. We've talked to business owners. We've talked to service providers, educators, business associations, elder care facilities. We talked with Safeway. We've talked with our political leaders. We've talked with folks who provide a number of different things in the art world. And joining me on the program right now is the men's director of Praisealujah, Clifton Russell. Clifton, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, under the circumstances, fantastic. I'm happy to be able to share information about the pandemic, the coronavirus, to our community and create awareness and education opportunities, and then also be able to share stories from members of our community. Let's get started by telling us about Praisealujah, who you are and what you do. I had mentioned that you were a recovery center for addicts. But you do a lot, so let's talk about who you are and what you do.
Okay, well, Praisealujah Discipleship, we are actually a faith-based discipleship, a faith-based ministry where we bring people in. We offer housing, food, clothing, somewhere to find Jesus. It's a change of life. For people who really want to change, we allow people to come in. We don't charge them anything. We just want to make a change. We want to be a part of the solution and not the problem. And so what we do is it's a 6-month commitment. The first 90 days is the first phase, first and second phase, where we do structured Bible study. We do homework. We do work therapy. Just help guys get back on their feet, help them get centered, get focused. The second 90 days is full-time planning where we get them back into the work field, get the feet wet back in the work field, and get them back into being a productive citizen, a productive member of the community. And this program is, it's been a great change to my life as well as many others, and so yeah, we have a food ministry where we bring in about 5 million pounds of food a month, and we give away about 4.8 of it through our food banks 3 times a week. Also to other ministries, to just families who need it. So we're like I said, we're just really just trying to be a part of the solution and not the problem.
And
So,
go ahead.
Yes, sir. Oh no, I was done. Yes, sir.
And tell us a little bit about your background and ultimately, how you came to this positions of men's director for Praisealujah.
Okay, well, I was born in Tacoma, Washington. I grew up through the early '90s, so I became a product of the gangbanging environment back then throughout my life, and it was just something, as I got older. Got tired of the lifestyle. Something was missing. I have at this time, I had 2 daughters at the time. And I just realized, there's something was missing. And then I met a pastor. He told me about the program. So I took that chance. And so I've been in the program now about 2 years, coming up on 2 years here, pretty quick. And, once I got here and I got a taste of it and got a taste of what God could do, and, not just for me, but through me, as far as helping others, I just, I can see myself doing it. So, I've, just dedicated my life to, to doing the Lord's work and trying to help as many people as possible.
And again, you're already struggling if you're a recovering addict.
Right.
Can you tell us how the coronavirus pandemic added an additional burden of impacting and affecting what you do at Praisealujah, working with recovering addicts, and in addition to that, providing food through your faith-based organization.
Yeah. So the effects, the negative effects that the pandemic is having is, well, one is that we have to be more careful about when we bring people in. We have to actually get people screened before we come in, as opposed to before we were, just anybody who's coming, we're ready to come. So we still are allowing people to come, but with that precaution. As far as the food, it's slowing down because the distribution centers are shutting down, and the trucking industry is slowing down. So we're still bringing it in, but it is slowing down. And we want to still continue to be able to help those that can't go to the store and stock up groceries, or who can't make it to the store because they don't have transportation. So even though it's slowing down, we're still trying to do our part to make sure that we can help as many people as possible.
And I'm assuming here, I'm just guessing, that there also has to be a mental health impact. There's a mental health impact on pretty much everybody who has to be isolated during this time and can't go outside and go do things. Is that exacerbated because of the recovering addict situation? What is going on there?
Well, as far as the mental aspect, it is, of course, it's trying on everybody, just in general, just being shut in, and not even, not only shut in, but also it's so touchy, it's out being outside. People are so on edge, and so I believe that it's mentally straining on a lot of people, but as far as here, we, due to our structure with the Bible and prayer, and we keep, so we try to keep our mind off of what's going on, and still continue to keep our mind focused on the Lord, and not really so much of being stuck in here. We don't consider being stuck in here, but we're taking it as chances to be able to study more and fellowship more. So we try to keep a positive spin and aspect on it.
And let's talk about that perspective as a faith-based organization. How has that allowed you or to deal with this thing that's impacting and affecting everybody? In what ways, as a faith-based organization, does your faith play a role in something where people are saying, hey, this is based off of science? And then there's also folks who are out there, well, the politics are driving, what this does in regards to lockdowns and safety and stay at home and testing and all these other things that go on. Where does your role as a faith-based organization come into play with all of these other areas that are impacted by the coronavirus?
Well, so where our faith comes in at that is, well, first of all, we really don't pay too much attention to the media at all. We do know, the media, I don't even want to say the media, but it's just being politicized. There's a lot of fear out there, but we work on and teach, just keeping faith in the Lord, because whatever is happening is already a part of His plan, and so as long as keeping the Lord that for His divine protection and provision, regardless of what's going to happen, we know that as long as we keep our eyes on Him, that is everything's gonna be fine. However it happens is pre-written, and it's going to happen. But we keep away from fear mongering about it, because that's not going to make it any better at all.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world. My guest is Clifton Russell, Men's Director for Praisealujah. How long have you been in business? And how many facilities do you have? How many clients do you have with you right now in your facilities?
Okay. It's been 13 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe it's been 13 years. We have 10 houses, a church house, and a storehouse where we store our food for our food banks and such. Yeah. So, and what was your other question, sir?
Yeah, I think that was about it. I just kind of wanted to get some logistics on some things. And so, having said that, how can folks support you? I'm assuming at this time, like everyone else, you're also in need. You're providing services for people who are in need. Well, we'll just start with that. You're providing services for people who are in need. I'm sure that has also got to put a burden on your ability to provide resources.
Yes, sir. Yes. Any, just any type of donation, does it, monetary, food, toilet paper, paper towels, anything to help, you know. So we do have we have like our work therapy contracts have stopped because of the virus. So we only have one active one that's going. So that is kind of putting a strain on, keeping the rent paid for, the various properties and, the storehouse. So, any type of donation would be great, will be a great blessing and greatly appreciated.
And how can folks make a donation to you if they want to give you a cash donation, if they want to provide you with some money? How can they do that? We'll start with that.
Okay, so they can either go to praisealujah.org. That's praisealujah.org, or the address to our storehouse is 20832 International Boulevard, SeaTac, Washington.
All right, so I'm going to give everybody a chance who said, oh, you know what, I'm listening to this. I do want to make a donation, but that went by awfully fast. So let's give folks that information one more again.
Absolutely. Praisealujah.org. PRAISEALUJAH.org is our website, and the address to our storehouse where donations can be dropped off is 20832 International Boulevard, SeaTac, Washington.
All right, and that's and cash always works. Money's good. What are some of the other things at this time that you need as well for your clients to function, to do the things that you do?
Toilet paper, paper towels, hygiene products, laundry, soap, anything along those lines. Cleaning supplies, just deodorant, just hygiene products, laundry soap, something along those lines. Something that we keep in the house to be able to supply the new guys and women coming in.
And so, hand sanitizer, if anybody can get their hands on any.
Yes, sir. Definitely some hand sanitizer if it's possible. Rubber gloves, face masks, anything along those lines would be great.
And are you able? Are the folks who are currently clients in your facilities able to safely practice social distancing while this is going on?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of almost just about everybody is on a stay at home. The guys that do go out on the work therapy definitely are able to practice social distancing, and it is directly there, make no stops in between. So we definitely are taking precautions. Yes, sir.
And if you can, and you don't have to talk about anybody specifically, but again, for it just kind of as a broad perspective, can you share with us, for someone who is going through addiction recovery at this time, the additional impact that has on an individual during the coronavirus pandemic?
Um, hmm. Well, the things that I've come across that have been expressed to me, it's just that it's lonely out there. The people have lost hope out there. It's hard for them to find any type of help out there at all. So that's something that has been expressed to me. That's that's definitely how it's a lot harder on people that are quote unquote homeless, or just going through a hard time. That because of the closing of everything, that it's making it a lot harder to find any type of assistance out there.
Again, you're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. It's me, Tony B. My guest is Clifton Russell, Men's Director for Praisealujah, a addiction recovery center. Actually have multiple buildings, and then also a faith-based organization that provides food to folks as well. Clifton, I want to give you the opportunity for final words here on this program to talk to our listening audience. That can be something that again, you've just wanted to expound on, or whatever it is that you want to say to make folks more aware of who you are, what you do, how you're being impacted working with the clientele that you do.
Okay, well, this is Clifton Russell, Men's Director, Praisealujah Discipleship. We are here to seek, save, and serve the souls that are lost, lonely, and left behind. We are trying our hardest to help as many people as possible to cope with what's going on now, as well as to change lives, and help people to become more productive citizens of the community, as well as giving a helping hand to as many people as we can. Which I also, at a time like this, it's important for us to come together, link arms. So if anybody is in position to be able to help somebody, it would be a good thing to do, because God might just be using it to be an answer to somebody else's prayer. So, best advice I give is love one another, love your neighbor, help if you can, and be safe. Be safe. Take precautions as you need to be safe. Thank you.
Well, again, Clifton, thank you for what you do and the services that you provide to members of our community, which obviously is not going to stop in this heightened situation. And just continue to do the good work. Know that we're a resource if you need to get in touch with us to share information. If there's things that you want to get out in the public regarding the narrative and your perspective, you're always welcome to do that on Rainier Avenue Radio. If there are resources that you need, we'd be happy to get the word out for you so that folks can provide you with those resources, whether it be cash, money, or as you said before, also face masks, hand sanitizer, hygiene products, things that are now, a lot more difficult. You need to have those. You need those things.
Yes, sir.
And again, Clifton, thanks for joining us here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Just one more time before you go, though. Where can people donate? What are those statistics? What are those the areas that people can donate to you?
Okay, so online donation would be praisealujah.org. Once again, that is praisealujah.org. And for physical donations, drop-offs, our storehouse address is 20832 International Boulevard, SeaTac, Washington.
Clifton, thank you for joining us, and
Yes,
good luck
sir.
to you, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. This is another edition of our series of shows that we're doing every Friday from 1 to 3. When we first started this, didn't think it would be an ongoing thing, but the need was great. The pandemic continues to spread. The landscape continues to unfold. And what you are hearing are firsthand accounts and firsthand stories of how this is impacting residents in South Seattle, businesses in South Seattle, service providers in South Seattle, just like Praisealujah and what they do. Earlier on this Friday show, we also had the opportunity to talk to Glenn Turner from the Emergency Feeding Program. Before he was going to come on the air, a power line was cut, fuel was stolen, which shut down a refrigerator, and all of the food in the refrigerator can't be saved, went bad. So these times create situations and circumstances that are highly unpredictable. And with that, in particular of communities of color, poor communities, marginalized communities, black communities, we see now also that our Asian communities are facing discrimination. It's important that we continue to provide you with information and create awareness about what's taking place. And we'll continue to be here and do that. And if you know of someone who we need to get their story on the air, if you know of an entity that we need to share their narrative, just hit us up at Rainier Avenue Radio.world@gmail.com. And it might be you, because we'd be happy to share your story. Don't think that, well, they're talking with, this entity or that group. Everybody's story is important. So if it's you, if you want to share what's happened, well, somebody was telling me about the fact that they were on unemployment and they just can't get through and they don't know what to do. And, if that's your case, let us know about that so that we can share that information with the entities of the bodies that knew. And if we need to, we'll bring you on the air so that you can share that information as well, because your crisis is just as important. Everybody is in this together. That's it. That's all the time that I have. That's going to do it for the kid. On behalf of Rainier Avenue Radio.world, thanks to all of our guests who joined us today, including Chris Herman, the Chief Impact Officer at the Seattle Foundation, who shared information about how they disperse funds and gather funds during this time, and put together a board of folks to help them with making those difficult decisions about who's going to get the rapid response that they're trying to do. Also, thanks to Carolyn Bick, reporter and journalist for the South Seattle Emerald, who shared the story about the testing center, the COVID-19 testing center at the boat launch in Rainier Beach, where you can go. You don't have to have an appointment. You can just walk up and get tested. There's 100 a day that they're doing on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Again, I just mentioned Glenn Turner, the executive director of the Emergency Feeding Program. They're looking for money right now for donations. The only black-owned program like that in the state of Washington. And then also Clifton Russell with Praisealujah. Thank all of them for joining us, and y'all be safe out there. Remember, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are probably right. I'm out. Peace.